huh? Open at night.
This place is a goddamn palace.
Okay, that's fine. Another one. Again.
This is the take. Put this bag someplace safe, yeah?
Pause. Well, there's a lot of crimes taking place. The illegal gambling. I'm sure they found guns somewhere on that property during the searches. Illegal liquor, skimming off the top, what they call the take. And the lions, no permit for an exotic animal. That's why they get busted. My name is Ralph Friedman. I've made over 2,000 arrests personally and assisted in over 5,000 of their arrests. I'm a personal friend of Donnie Brasco, with his real name Joe Pistone. He's even been to my house. Today, I'm going to be watching Donnie Brasco.
What's your name, boy? Donnie Brasco, what's yours?
Or, could I say something else about Donnie Brasco? Although I've been in dangerous positions, Joe Pistone lived 6 years of every second under the threat of death.
Bruno said you want the 9mm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, where the f is he?
Yeah.
Well, he's your kid. Don't remind me. Come on.
Get the bulbers out.
Big surprise from a spider. And nothing like a surprise Sonny Black is gonna get.
God
He's
right.
never gonna know what hit him. Brains right there.
Jesus.
Pause. Well, you certainly have a few crimes here. This wasn't a rival gang. This was their own guys. Besides telling a couple of funny jokes, they admitted that they were going to be setting up Sonny Black, who was the one who shot them. I mean, mob eats their own. 12-gauge shotguns, handguns. These are authentic weapons for the time and this situation. Pause. Very gruesome. Definitely a mob hit. Very commonplace for the mob, this kind of violence.
Please, take off shoes.
What, are you kidding me? Take off your pants.
Is that? I'm afraid it's necessary.
Is that right? Well, forget about it. I ain't doing it.
Donnie, take your shoes off.
I'm taking my shoes off.
I want to eat sometime tonight. And take off your shoes. I'm gonna chop off your feet.
Sonny, what do you want me to do? I had to grow up in an orphanage because my old man was killed down there in Okinawa, all right? You think I'm gonna take my shoes off for this prick? No, I ain't doing it.
My friend's not gonna take off his shoes there, Mr. Moto. So why don't you just give us a table before I smack you?
You must take off your shoes.
Well, we definitely have a crime here. The reason he couldn't take off his shoes is because I think he had a wire in his socks. It was a custom in Japan, but it would have exposed Joe. So it put him into this really tight situation. He improvised, he made up stuff. You know, he was an orphan, his father was killed in Okinawa. That's how smart and convincing he could be. You know, he's one of the greatest undercovers of all time. The thing is, when they took him in the bathroom, that put Joe in a very bad spot too, because as an FBI agent or any law enforcement, you can't commit a violent crime like that, or you would have to stop it. You could see someone get pushed around or punched, but you couldn't have somebody killed in front of you. This beating, as we're gonna see in a few seconds, progresses to the point where he's almost beaten to death.
Don't you move.
Pause. Well, you could see in this scene that his face is torn between what he had to do to survive being undercover and keeping his cover as compared to what went against his grain as an innocent civilian getting beaten to a pulp. This guy was beaten very, very bad. Joe told me when I spoke to Joe about it, the guy got a beating, but it was not as severe as the movie made it, much more dramatic. It puts Joe in a bad spot. It just shows you the balance that an undercover had to play to keep his cover, but yet preserve the law. We won't say break it, we'll say bend it. Sometimes you gotta bend it just to the point where it might break.
What are we doing here, Sonny? We climbing something or what?
Watch the car.
Pause. Well, it is against the law to sell or possess in New York City an exotic animal like a lion.
Any experiences with something like this? An exotic pet of any kind?
No, had some exotic animals that had 2 legs, but not 4.
Sonny, what is this?
It's for you.
For me?
I got the power. Now you're under me.
What you get up to? Hey,
Sonny Red's got Little Italy. I got Brooklyn.
First, I could tell you it's not a real scene. Sonny did get a lion, but it was for the club opening. And when we do see the club scene, that's why they get busted.
good stuff.
Grab the let's go.
What am I gonna do with this?
It was realistic, but it didn't really occur. But I do remember an incident where police responded and the guy had a tiger in the apartment. And when they got that tiger out of the apartment, they found an alligator inside. Not personally, but in my precinct, they found a gorilla decapitated. The story that went around was that it was such a tough neighborhood that a gorilla came in and he even got mugged.
I want to know what you got going on down here.
I don't understand, son. You want to know about every half scam don't amount to nothing?
That's right.
I know you're a skipper and I'm a nobody, but I can't do that to Lefty.
Listen to me, you sucker. I'll eat your balls for breakfast. You understand me? This is life and death. Not a game, Donnie. This is my say-so.
Can't do it, son.
How about if I whack you right here and now?
Do what you have to do, sonny. I can't do that to Lefty.
Poor. There's no crime, but they're 2 mobsters trying to get each other's business. If they were talking about a crime they were getting ready to commit, it would be conspiracy. And this was Joe Pistone as Donnie Brasco, proving his loyalty to Lefty. In a way, cementing himself with Sonny. Being a plainclothes cop or a detective or an undercover, every minute, every second is dangerous. I went into an elite unit, blending into the neighborhood and trying to see crimes and interrupt them in progress. Deep cover like this is always dangerous, every second. I'm sure he's nervous, but he's proving his mettle by showing his loyalty.
The left hand. It's like my name. That's that app scam boat.
You think I knew that was a federal boat? You think I'm a f***ing rat?
How many times I have you into my own house?
Twice a week at least.
Yeah, there it is. At least. If you're a rat, then I'm the biggest mutt in the history of the mafia.
Even if this thing is a federal boat, Left, they scam all these other people. They didn't scam us.
How do you know that we walked away from it?
Well, we're sitting here, right?
Or that was a very true scene. I actually remember it being in the newspapers, a boat that the Fed seized and used it for an undercover operation, putting Joe Pistone at very big risk at that time. But he was able to talk his way out of it because Lefty never could believe that Joe was undercover. The way Joe handled himself, he maneuvered around where he didn't do anything illegal, but made them think so. I'm sure his heart was in his stomach, but he's talented enough, he's smart enough, brave enough to get around it and play the part to the point where he was almost a made man before they pulled him out of this operation. And this operation lasted 6 years, which is a tremendous amount of time. That they trusted him so much is a testament to Joe's perseverance.
Wow. Look at this place.
Sonny, it's a palace. Okay, that's fine. Another one. Again.
Of course, there's multiple crimes of illegal gambling. House can't take profit, and how they got around this is they claim that this night was for charity. But you'll see as we continue where they get busted.
I like it. I like it big time.
This is the take.
Put this bag someplace safe, yeah? All right.
Just turn real slow.
Pause. You saw them skimming off the top, and that's what made that illegal. And he puts what they call the take, he puts in his car for them. Let's say they're throwing this event for charity. Say they're gonna raise 50,000. So they bring in 75, they would take 25.
What are all you New York guineas doing down here?
Your missus invited us. We're running a charity event here. We have a permit.
You got a permit for the lion?
Oh, this is where the skim came, and the lion, that's where they got him, and they didn't pay off the police. In those years, they would pay him off for protection or to let the racket go. So they busted them for no permit for an exotic animal. Because they had a permit for a charitable event. They wanted to bust them because they didn't get paid off. In that period of time, corruption was still around. It was a sort of accepted way of doing business.
Think of paying these guys off, did you?
Well, the smashing of the glass, the bottles, the flipping the tables, the taking the money, this was all a message to the mob from the police that that's not the way you do business. So they wanted to teach them a lesson. This is how things were done back in the 60s. You know, that's police corruption, which after the 70s didn't exist like that anymore. There's a lot of crimes taking place, the illegal gambling. I'm sure they found guns somewhere on that property during the searches, illegal liquor, the take, the lion. Probably didn't have permits for everything they were doing anyway. But this is how the mob life was back then. Gambling and drinking and tipping, everybody acting as big shots. You know, it was all flashy and glitzy and money flowing. That's how it was.
Gotta do it, Donnie.
In this scene, Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco, and Lefty, they were ready to execute somebody. They were going to commit a murder right there, but it was a setup where the FBI was there.
Don't say nothing, Donnie. Don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing. You're all right. You're all right, Donnie.
I'm not coming out.
And this is where Lefty tells Donnie Brasco, don't talk, and they take him away. My personal opinion, I don't think it should have been done that way, because I had instances where I had to take down a CI and we like cover for him by cuffing him, roughing him up, the same as we would the perpetrator.
24 hours now. Hey, Donnie, you're all right.
It's over, man.
Don't say nothing to him, Donnie.
It's over, Joe.
They're pulling him out. They didn't even cuff him. Lefty's right there. He's refusing to accept this. He's still screaming to him, not realizing that he's not cuffed and thrown down with him, and he still believes that he's Donnie Brasco, the criminal. They're telling him, it's over, Joe, sort of signaling that the operation's over. I don't think Joe was ready to come out, or at least come out that way. Usually, you don't pull him out like that. Let the guy think he went through the system and everything like that. Even if you're ending the operation, there's no point that you had to disclose this information right then and there.
You've known this guy as Donnie Brasco. Truth is, he's been an FBI agent all along. You can contact me here if you want to talk.
You believe those guys? There's no way Donnie's an agent. Almost had me going. If you didn't know Donnie.
That was a message right there. Sonny was telling Lefty if we didn't know him, because it was Lefty who introduced them to the mob. They really didn't know him. Lefty brought him in. In today's world, they probably wouldn't believe it with AI and Photoshop, but those words didn't exist and couldn't even imagine it. When I pulled the CIs out on my smaller operations, we wouldn't tell them. We would try to avoid that until it was 1,000% necessary. We would, like I said before, we would treat them like a criminal. Yeah, later on when it has to go to court, that's another story. Then it would come out. There was no reason to expose them at this point. I believe that Sonny Black knew it was for real. You know, he's telling him, well, you know him, right? But he knows. He's saying he doesn't believe it, but the way he's saying it, and he's looking at Lefty, he's sending a message. Lefty, this is on you.
You down the jeweler? Yeah. There's some beautiful thing.
Why don't you give it to your wife?
I'm asking you to middle a diamond for me here. Now, all I want from my end is 8,000.
You should give it to somebody that don't know any better, because that's a fugazi. All right?
In all the 5 boroughs, I'm known. Anybody ask anybody about Lefty from Mulberry Street.
I didn't mean no disrespect. It's a misunderstanding, right?
Where you go? You got a car?
I got a car.
Well, let's go get your car. Come on.
Probably a crime was committed. Lefty's trying to pawn a ring that he got in probably a burglary. Trying to fence it with Joe. Joe tells him it's fugazi, which means fake. This was set up where the bartender knew Lefty and he would hook them up. You know, he'd work his way into the mob. Joe, prior to becoming an undercover, went to gem school, learned everything he could about it. And Joe lived as a jeweler beforehand, and that was his in. Joe picked jeweler probably because it wasn't a violent crime. You know, he didn't want to be a muscle where he would have to commit a crime. This was more non-violent section of the mob, you know, fencing. You know, being a jeweler expert.
You owe me 8 grand.
Wait, I gave you the diamond.
He says it's a fugazi.
What's a fugazi?
You know what you did, pal.
One of you's gotta be wrong.
Left, that is my wife's diamond ring.
It's a fugazi, Left.
You took away your wife's ring to go bet on the Giants?
It's very minor violence. He just punched the guy a couple of times, but he's actually telling him, I'm gonna save your life. And he winds up asking him what he drives and takes his car keys. He drives a Porsche. So they take the car. His crimes amongst criminals. He owes him for gambling probably, and they want to collect their money. The mob isn't like, they don't use lawyers, you know, they use bullets. It was better than Lefty shooting him. It's a property crime instead of a physical violent crime. It's another way Joe saw a way out of it. That was better for everybody. He kept his cover. He satisfied Lefty. He got the car. He punched him a few times, but everybody won.
This is a friend of mine. That means you're a connected guy. Now, if I said instead, this is a friend of ours, that would mean you were a made guy. A capiche?
Yeah, friend of mine, friend of ours.
You got a couple of fuzzles. I got some things I gotta take care of.
Yeah. What do you want, 100?
What are you doing? Wise guy don't carry his money in a wallet. Hey, wise guy carries money in a roll. Like that. Come on. You gotta get rid of that mustache, because that's against the rules. And get a pair of pants, will you? This ain't a f***ing rodeo.
The verbiage was very good when he says, I'm going to introduce you as a friend of mine. You're with us, but if you're a friend of ours, then you're a made guy. This is how it used to go on. Yeah, they don't wear jeans like that. They didn't like the mustaches or beards. They wanted you to dress better. The whole way Hollywood would portray it today, this is where they're getting it from.
Hey, Lefty, what you say?
This is Donnie, a friend of mine.
How you doing?
Hey, Sonny, how you doing?
Sonny Red.
Who's this guy?
This is Donnie, a friend of mine.
You gonna make this week's vig? Because I don't want to have to come looking for you. You hear me?
I just my pants, right? It's the boss, Donnie.
Very authentic for the 60s, 70s, maybe some of the 80s. You wouldn't see that today because of the technology that the FBI uses today. They could pick up conversations, they could be photographing from far away. Today, you wouldn't see it like that. More indoors again. And just everybody showing respect. You're pointing out to the feds who the chain of command is.
Oh, forget about it.
I loved it. One of my favorite movies. It was violent, made it enjoyable, but it was a great movie, very well done. I met Joe through a mutual friend a few years ago, probably about 5-6 years ago, and we became friends. We talked. Very personable guy. He's in great shape. Couldn't believe his age. He looks like 25 years younger than he is. Lives by great standards. He did his whole life. And I look up to him. The guy did an incredible job. He's a hero.